Shakalaka, what's going on? Hopefully everyone's having a good night. This stream is to make up for my Monday stream, so obviously our Monday live streams are longer than our Saturday live streams. That's what I've been saying for a long time, and that's what we got going on. So let's see what's Bitcoin doing. Ethereum right now trying to hold the $2,500 support. We are live on TikTok and on YouTube. I'll be back live on Saturday as well. And then on Saturday, I'll be live on Clapper and on YouTube. Right now, TikTok is officially back in the US. But if it does get suspended or banned again in about 2 months, when it was maybe because Trump initially suspended it, and then when he got into office, he said, okay, we're going to give another 3 months. If it gets suspended again, which I don't think it will, I think he's going to come to a conclusion. But if it does get suspended again, I want to also have an audience on Clapper. So let me share the screen with you. Let's go look at the Crypto Fear Greed Index. Like I said, we're usually live Saturdays and Mondays at 11 p.m. Central. If I ever have to tweak it, then we have our makeup streams like right now. If you guys want to join the Telegram channel, it is free to join. Link to join is in the description below. And then you can ask me general questions, or I also tell you if I have to make any tweaks with my live streams. Or if you guys want to join the trading group, link to join is in the description below on YouTube. So right now, we are in neutral. I believe yesterday we were in fear. No, yesterday we were also neutral. Last week we were below 50 in fear. So that's interesting to me. 48, I thought anything below 50 was fear, I guess, or maybe everything below 45 is fear. And then anything above 45 is neutral. Yeah, I think that's probably it. So anything 45 and lower, I would presume would be fear. So last week we were in fear. Today we're neutral. And last month, obviously, we were in a little bit, ever so slightly, a little bit of greed. Hold on for a second. I appreciate if you guys hit the likes. It does help support the channel. And if you guys are new, make sure you hit the subscribe and bell notifications so you get notified every time I post a video. But yeah, so that's where we're at. Just something to take note of. I will be buying more Bitcoin today. Tomorrow is Friday. So I buy Bitcoin almost every Friday. What's going on here on Bitcoin, though? So let's kind of break it down. We already do have one request, which is VVV. So if that's a crypto, look at it. But anyways, and I also still have my macro short on Yearn Finance that I'm in right now, which I will talk about in a little bit. But let's go look and see what Bitcoin is doing on the monthly time frame. So if I zoom in here a little bit. By the way, if you're watching my YouTube channel tomorrow, I will be posting some videos on my YouTube channel tomorrow sometime. I don't know what time. So right now, this is what I see going on for Bitcoin. Around the bottom on the monthly time frame. This was when you went down to 15,000, and so far Bitcoin is still looking okay. If we look at the weekly time frame, we can still see that we are doing okay. And again, this is a flag I see on the weekly time frame, and this is, it looks pretty good to me for a move to the upside. Just like you had a flag here on Bitcoin, this one took forever to play out, but it did eventually play out. And let's see if Bitcoin can get some kind of move to the upside here. Out of this most recent flag, I need to move the right one. So this first flag here still hasn't really hit the measure move. That measure move is about 130,000. But this most new flag that we have here, this flag takes you up to about $157,000 for Bitcoin. So also what I love on the RSI for Bitcoin is on the stock RSI, the weekly time frame is oversold. So to me, Bitcoin is in a great state right now as far as the weekly RSI goes. You're holding the bull market support band. You're above the 21-day moving average and the 200-day moving averages on the weekly time frame. So to me, the weekly time frame is setting up nicely for a massive move up, probably sometime in March. So I don't expect to move up this month, anything crazy, but I would look for a new all-time high in either March or April. That's my prediction, and my ultimate target for this bull run is 170,000. So let's jump down now to the 3-day time frame on Bitcoin. I would do the super chats or whatever the requests after I get done with my longer analysis on Bitcoin. So if we jump down to the 3-day time frame. Right now, I appreciate the like, by the way, on YouTube, so thank you. Everything helps. So the 3-day time frame right now for Bitcoin also looks very good to me, just like the weekly does. It looks they both look extremely bullish. You're above, even on the 3-day time frame, the blue line is the 21. You're above the 21-day moving average, you're above the bull market support band here. You're above the 200, and you're staying in the flag, high or low. You're in a bull flag, like I said. So one, you're in a bull flag. You're above key moving averages. You're above the bull market support band, and you're in a bull flag. So there's 4 bullish things that we got going on here for Bitcoin right now on the 3-day. So to me, the 3-day looks almost as bullish as the weekly. Let me make that yellow for a target. So that's kind of the target I'm looking out for Bitcoin. So just if you're looking at the 3-day time frame and the weekly time frame alone, Bitcoin is bullish if you can hold, I would say, $95,000. If you lose 95K, you must hold. The bulls must hold 88K. But I think if you go below 95K, you'd be losing this wick here and you'd be making a lower low. So if you lose 95K, I guess this wick's at 91. But this most recent move down here is 93. So I guess absolute worst case scenario, I would say Bitcoin cannot lose 91K. And if you do, then I would say the 3-day time frame is starting to become bearish. But for right now, you have good support at 95K. And if you can hold the 91K wick, will be good. But you do need, right now, Bitcoin does need to see a bounce to the top of this channel. And if you can't do that, well, that would be a very bad situation for the bulls. So you must break back to the top of the channel up here around $102,000, $103,000. If Bitcoin can't do that, I should say, that would be a bad look. So this is kind of what I'm expecting. I'll leave this line drawn here, and then when I'm back live in 2 days on Saturday at 11 p.m. Central Time, we'll see where we're at. But I expect some kind of move up here on the daily time frame, at least some kind of bounce here to get back to the top of the channel. That's just what would make sense. That would be pattern trading 101. So to me, Bitcoin really does need to get the bounce back to the upside. And so let's jump down to the daily time frame looks good too. You're not above the 21. That would be sitting at 98,700. But you're above the 200. You're above the bull market support band, and you're still in the flag. So to me, even the daily, it still looks pretty good. The 12-hour time frame is kind of chopping around, but then when I look at the 12-hour time frame, I kind of draw these smaller flags. I see this as a falling wedge on the 12-hour time frame. These break up 68% of the time. This doesn't have to break up, but the measure move is of that alone, $116,000 for Bitcoin. So I would just say this: if you hold this most recent wick, which that's pretty crazy, but if you hold this wick here at 93.8, 93.7, Bitcoin is technically still bullish to me, and so that gives you about $3,000 or $4,000 of insurance room. So even the 12-hour time frame is in a falling wedge. As of right now, it's making a higher low. So if you can hold the level I just said, 93K, we'll be fine on Bitcoin on the 12-hour time frame. So let's jump down. Just curious on your thoughts when altcoin season finally begins. Well, I can get into that in a second, but unfortunately, it's not going to be until Bitcoin really makes a new all-time high and then goes sideways. So the 8-hour time frame right now, kind of the same situation as a 12-hour and as a daily. You're below. Actually, no, it's not. Was a 12-hour above the 200? Barely. Yeah, it's right there. 8-hour is below it. 8-hour must break back above 99,100. If you can't do that, technically speaking, just the 8-hour time frame alone would be bearish. So you must do that. But again, I said that higher time frames are likely to get the bounce back to the upside. So that's kind of what I'm watching out for Bitcoin. The 4-hour time frame is well below the 200, sitting at 100,200. So Bitcoin must break up and hold these levels. So I would say if Bitcoin, though, can hold 93,900 or 93,800, I would be bullish on Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame and higher. So 93, what I say, I'm going to add this as a support. So if Bitcoin can hold this level right here, basically 94K. I'll just say this: if Bitcoin holds 94K, we're good. The second you lose 94K, that's when it would start to be a little bit sketchy for the bulls, and that's when you would want to think about flipping short. So if you can hold $94,000, Bitcoin to me is still looking good. So that's just what I see going on. Bitcoin must hold 94K, and then we'll be okay. If you lose 94K, it's time to be a little bit bearish. So if you look at the 1-hour time frame, you can see that that's a lower high. But the question I see right now is, just like on the weekly or on the weekly and monthly, you had a rounded bottom. Can we get that again here and make some type of cup and handle, where you get a handle here, you get a little flag, and then you make a higher low, and then you can get a move up out of here. So I see this as a pot. Technically, right now it's a lower high, but if you can make this as a rounded bottom and a cup and handle, that could, the 1 hour time frame could get you back to 97,000. Oh, basically 98K, and then that would be the start of a bounce on a larger time frame. So to me, I like what I'm seeing on Bitcoin on the 4 hour time frame and higher. Bitcoin must hold 94K. If you do that, we're good. On the smaller time frames, such as the 1 hour time frame, you want to hold this most recent low here at 95K, basically 95.1, 95K. I would say 95K. If you hold 95K in the 1 hour, we'll be good. Overall, though, worst case scenario, I don't want to see Bitcoin lose 94. I think really, though, overall, if Bitcoin starts to lose 95, I'd be worried that 94K is next. So I would love to see Bitcoin tonight not lose 95K. If you start to lose 95K, it'd start to be a little bit bearish on the 1 hour time frame, and then eventually that would flip bearish to the higher time frame. So I would say if Bitcoin loses 95K, then you definitely can't lose 94. If you lose 94, then it'd be time to be in a bear sentiment. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Bitcoin to get the bounce here and not lose 95K, and that's still about $1,600 away. So overall, I'm okay with where Bitcoin is at right now. The half-hour time frame, look at that. You're about to make a higher low and get a move up here. The 15-minute time frame looks really good to me. So I really do like, that's top-down analysis. We went from the monthly to the 1 minute time frame. So right now, 1 minute looks sketchy, but I wouldn't be that worried about the 1 minute time frame. So yeah, that's just what I see going on for Bitcoin right now. Is a move to the upside if you can hold this 95K level here. So with that being said, let's go on and look at VVV. So I'm not quite sure what VVV is. Does anyone know what VV? I don't know what VVV is, but it is on the markets. So hopefully we can figure this out. Oh, one more thing before I get too far away from this is I wanted to go look at the whatever this is called, a book map, and see where the liquidity is at for Bitcoin. So let me do that really quickly. So right now, let me go full screen here. Right now, it's kind of even, but Bitcoin, you can see, has a little bit more liquidity right below us at 96,600. So overall, I wouldn't be too worried about that. It looks pretty even, though, to me. You have orders at 97.8, and you have orders down at 96.5, and even some at 96K. So overall, it looks even to me. I do see liquidity above us, and if the charts are telling us we're bullish and there's liquidity on both sides, I'd be more likely to say that we get the bounce to the upside for Bitcoin. So let's look at VVV. On the daily time frame for VVV, I mean, there's no data, though. Is there a chart with better data? The 4 hour time frame doesn't even have like the 200 yet. Does a 2 hour? No. The 1 hour is like the largest time frame we can really look at. So I gotta say, I don't know how much TA can do here, man, and have this be good TA, because there's not much to go off of. I will say you're trying to hold $5.16 right now. You've got multiple bounces off of it. 1, 2, 3. 3 times you've used this as support since it came out. And then if you hold 5.16, I would be looking for a $9, $9.11. I would basically say $9 as resistance. So that's really. You also must break it back above the 200 on the 1 hour, but overall, and on the half hour, and on the 15, I gotta say, man. How's the 7 minute looking? 7 minutes above it. So can the 15 minute get back above it now? You're above it on the 15. Now can the half hour get back to $6, $7 basically? If that's the case, then you look for the 1 hour to get back above the 200 at 661. So I'd be watching these time frames to get back above it. If you hold 516, I do see the larger measure move back to $9. I don't know, and I don't see any more data than this, but that's just what I see. So Cardano, let's go look at Cardano next. So yeah, it's a new coin. So I'll have to watch VVV though, because that is kind of interesting. But I think there's so many coins out there that are ChatGPT, but I'll put it on my radar. I don't know if I'm gonna look much more into it, but we'll see. I'll keep an eye on it. So on the 3-day time frame for Cardano, this is definitely an older coin. So this is kind of what I see just by looking at the chart for 10 seconds. I see this as a falling wedge to the upside of a measure move conservatively of about $1.80. But you must hold this wick now on Cardano, which I think a lot of coins had a capitulation wick. Yeah, this is a 3-day time frame. So probably this wick was on the kip was when Bitcoin and crypto had the biggest liquidation ever. So overall, I would say this then. That's a higher low wick as far as I'm concerned. If you hold 50 cents on Cardano, we're bullish. I know that's actually kind of a ways away from where we are right now, but that's what I'm saying. And then you have resistance at $1.30. And I would say a little bit more at $1.15, $1.16 on Cardano. So right now, if you can hold 50 cents, or even the dollar, no, you're below $1. If you can hold 50 cents, the next step I really see is being about $1.20. You also have a little support at 77 cents as well, but that is probably not very strong support. So that would also be a level you want to stay above is 77 cents. You did have a bounce off of it, and then from there you were above it for about 2 weeks before you eventually did capitulate, and you went from all the way from basically that's a 50% drop it had in a few days. So I'd be watching for Cardano to hold 77 cents. If you do that, I do see eventually $1 psychological resistance coming. If you break that, I'm looking for $1.16 on Cardano. So that's Cardano in a nutshell. The 3-day time frame looks like it's about to rock. It's oversold. And the money flow looks great to me. I don't talk about money flow as much as I should maybe, but that looks good to me. Cardano looks like you're about to rock. Daily chart, I'd watch the daily though, because that is a lower high on the daily, although money flow still looks good to me on the daily. So overall, and 2-day money flow looks good. So, even if these make lower highs, as long as you make a higher low, then you're good. So Cardano right now, I'd be watching for a move up to $1. As long as you make a higher low, then you're good. So Cardano right now, I'd be watching for a move up to $1. Your two biggest high volume nodes, you have one at $1 and you have one right here at 60 cents. Anytime you break one, you go to the next one, and the next one is $1. So I would just watch for Cardano to hit $1, and then you can really continue the upside. So yeah, that's what I'd be looking at for. And let's go over and look at Dogecoin. Dogecoin right now, we can use the Binance chart. Yeah, we'll use the Binance chart. So Dogecoin kind of looks bearish to me right now. I gotta say, Dogecoin does not look fantastic. Like to me, you had the massive move down, and like a lot of crypto, actually, unlike a lot of cryptos, I should say, you really haven't had a bounce yet. And to me, this is actually kind of like a bear flag on Dogecoin. So Dogecoin to me looks a little sketchy. While the rest of the market is getting some kind of bounce, this is making a bearish pennant. And this is obviously a really not that this would be a very bad sign unless you're trying to short the thing. And you could say, if you want to be a little insane about it, that from 43 cents all the way down to this low here, if you want to be conservative, is pretty. That'd be your next flag down. And is Dogecoin really going back to 6 cents? I mean, I don't think that's going to happen, but that is something you have to at least take it. You have to at least think about it, because that is the bear flag measured move. Although, can you get a move back above now this low, the highest wick here at 2.7 or even 28 cents? If you can do that, you'd be out of the water. So I would say if Dogecoin can break 28 cents, which we're not far away from right now, we'll be fine. We can probably negate the bear flag, at least for right now. But the daily time frame is overbought, about to make a lower high, and that looks bad. The 2-day and the 3-day, and honestly, even the weekly all look great to me. So I think the most likely scenario is you are going to make a lower high in the daily, but then I would expect you to make a higher low somewhere above 20 cents. If you do that, then we'll be good on Dogecoin. So even if you get a small rejection here back to 23 cents, and form some kind of bottom here around 23 or 24 cents, that would still be a higher low, and then we'll be okay. And then you can look for a higher high. So if you get overbought here, roll over, but then make some kind of double bottom here and then make a higher high, we'll be fine. So Dogecoin to me, overall, short term looks bearish, but long term, if you can hold 23 cents on a double bottom, we'll be okay. I don't think Dogecoin is horribly. I don't think it looks horrible right now. But I would just be cautious about Dogecoin because it does look a little sketchy. And when the other situation is, you don't want to make a descending triangle. If Dogecoin does get rejected here, you would need to see it make a higher low, and then you would need to say a higher high. If you do not break 28 cents and do not make a higher high, this is going to become a descending triangle, and these break down most of the time. So Dogecoin to me is bearish if you can't break 28 cents. It's very bearish if you can't break 28 cents. So we'll see what happens. I'll just be cautious. I'd be cautious on Dogecoin right now. It looks a lot worse than the rest of the market. So that's just what I see on Dogecoin is either a bear pennant or possibly a descending triangle forming unless you can break 28 cents. If you can do that, make a new high, I'd pretty much negate the bearish scenario. But right now, if you don't break 28 cents, it just doesn't look fantastic to me. And I guess that's where I stand with Dogecoin. So yeah, that's what I see going on with Dogecoin. And if you guys have any other requests, let me know. Thank you for the likes on YouTube. I appreciate it. Yeah, so that's just what I see going on. Dogecoin, really, I can't believe how bad that looks, but it does not look very good to me right now. So oh, okay, let me talk about my Yearn Finance trade. So I am in a trade, a short on Yearn Finance on the 5.5 hour time frame. So my stop loss right now is 73.56, right above the sticker yellow 200-day smooth moving average. And I see this honestly in a descending triangle on Yearn Finance, and the measure move is 26.42. Now, if Bitcoin makes a new all-time high, it probably won't dump. But if Bitcoin just keeps getting chopped and going sideways, and if Bitcoin can't break 100K in the next week, I think this is a likely move to the downside on Yearn Finance. I mean, this is just what I see, and it's been at the lows from the second. So the last 11 days, it's kind of been in consolidation, whether we're going to finally get a break to the upside here, or are we going to eventually roll over and get a move down? I'm betting on the move down, but if Bitcoin breaks 100K, my guess is that we do get the move back to the upside. If Bitcoin just keeps going sideways and down, then this is likely to actually dump. But if Bitcoin just keeps going sideways, yeah, I see this dumping. So this doesn't look fantastic to me. We'll see what happens, but I could see the triangle being even larger here. But either way, this chart has been bearish for quite some time, so I am short on this. I will say, wow, now the daily is making a lower high as well. That is not a good sign. The 2-day and the 3-day are very oversold, so they are due for at least a decent bounce. But overall, right now, it's pretty bearish here. And your next support, if you lose this descending triangle, your next support is 43.75, and your next resistance to the upside is basically 7,100. So I gotta say that is the trade I'm in right now. I've been in this trade for 3 or 4 days minimum, but or right here. So since the 7th, so that's almost a week now. I've been in this short, and I'm just patiently waiting for it to either go up or go down, and we'll see what happens. But that is the trade I'm in. My take profit 26.42. My stop loss is a trailing stop, and it's been going down slightly. My stop loss will be about 73.50. So we'll see what happens, but that is the only trade I'm in right now, besides my very short term. Well, that's basically the only trade I'm in. The other trades are just for fun, I guess. But so that's what I see on Yearn Finance. So let's go over and look at XCN. I did want to look at XCN, and then I got distracted. But let's go look at XCN. So XCN, let me just do this really quickly. So let's take a look at XCN right now. On the daily time frame, you're ready for a bounce to the upside. If we jump down to let's go down to the 12-hour. The 12-hour time frame kind of looks sketchy to me. I had this bear flag. This is actually a descending triangle with a measure move of about 1.1 cents. The measure move has not been hit yet, but you did get about halfway there, down to about 1.8. If we jump down to the 8-hour time frame, by the way, the 12-hour time frame just lost the 200 or the 21-day moving average. That is a bearish sign. You are below it on the 8-hour time frame. That's not good. On the 6-hour time frame, you're below it. That's a lower high. Also on the 6-hour on the R side. The 4-hour time frame right now is below the 21-day moving average. And if we go down to the 3-hour, you lost a 200-day moving average. Anytime you lose the 200-day moving average on the 3-hour time frame, I would look for the 4-hour time frame 200-day moving average to be hit. That's currently coming in around 21.3. And then I would look for the 6-hour to be hit, and that's coming at 15 if you continue lower. So to me, the 3-hour time frame and below are bearish right now because you're below the 200-day moving average. You also made a lower high on the 3-hour, but now this is a higher low. So maybe the low has been put in here at 18.67. But again, anytime you lose a 200 days moving average on the 3-hour, I would then jump to the 4-hour time frame, and most of the time that will eventually get hit. I have found that the 4-hour 200-day moving average is the bounce point a lot of the time, but if you lose that, then again I go down to the 6-hour. The bullish scenario is that you bounce right here out of a falling wedge and get to move back to the resistance at 3.2 cents. That can very well happen, but that is kind of what I see going on for XCN. Honestly, I gotta say, I think the most likely scenario, even though the 3-hour time frame is technically below the 200, the most likely scenario is that you get the move out of this to the upside and get that move back to resistance at 2.3 cents. Anything is possible, so this is not financial advice, but I would say that the most likely scenario is, even though you're below the 200, that you get the move to the upside. So that's kind of what I see going on XCN. If you enjoyed this, appreciate if you hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I will post that to YouTube when this is over, but that's just what I see going on. That's what I see going on for XCN, is a move likely to up to 2.3 cents. We'll see what happens. Anything's possible, but that is the most likely scenario. I would pretty much say, though, if this, then that. If you lose this level at 2.264, it's very likely then you are going to make a new low down to 18. If you hold that level, then honestly, I think we're out of the water. If you hold 226, 2264, I'd be looking for a move up to 3.2 cents on XCN, and that's just what I see going on for that cryptocurrency. So with that being said, guys, that's kind of everything I wanted to go over. I'll be back live on Saturday, 11 p.m. Central Time, and that again will be a little bit of a shorter stream than this one, but that's just kind of what I see going on. So let's go back to Bitcoin and wrap things up one more time. I'm going to jump to the 15-minute time frame, and I said that I see this as a rounded bottom, and then you're going to make some kind of flag here, and hopefully make a cup and handle with a measure move of approximately $98,000. I also said, if I go over to my other Bitcoin chart before I get out of here, is that I see this as a diamond. I thought. Did I delete that chart? Or maybe it's this one. Well, let me go to the... Well, I saw something in a diamond pattern. I don't know where that went. Let me go back to the 1-hour time frame. I did see it in a diamond, and I guess I lost it. But the idea of the larger diamond, if I could find it, would be that Bitcoin would go the way it came out of the diamond, which was back to the upside. So overall, to be honest with you, I'm more bullish than bearish right now for Bitcoin, but it does not look fantastic, I will say that. But the 1-hour time frame, I see this as a cup and handle about to form. Now, if you just dump here, then this is invalidated. But right now, I see Bitcoin in a cup and handle, or about to form a cup and handle, with a measure move of about $98,000. So, oh, that's a little obnoxious. So right now, Bookmap does have a little more liquidity now at $97,800. So I really am looking for a move to the upside. Bookmap agrees with me that we can get the move to the upside here on Bitcoin. So you know what I'm going to call? I'm going to say before Saturday, it's not a crazy move, but Bitcoin will see $98,200 by Saturday, and maybe even in the next 12 hours here. We'll see what happens. Anything is possible, but to me, that's the most likely scenario for Bitcoin right now. So with that being said, I guess that's kind of where I would leave it. I would not do much trading tonight, because I would just wait till tomorrow to open any new trades. I also want to say that I did close my my long on Tesla because you did lose the 200-day smooth moving average on the 5.5 hour time frame. You hit it at least. Now you're getting the bounce. But here's the thing: even Tesla is getting the bounce now. This is, if you roll over tomorrow, this is a lower high on Tesla, and you're still below the 21-day moving average on this time frame. So to end the 200, so to me, I'm out of this trade. If you can make a higher low here, above 320, I'd be getting back into Tesla. Otherwise, I'm out of Tesla for right now, and I guess I'll leave it at that. I'm no longer in Tesla, but that can change. And then if maybe next week I buy back in, depending on what I see. For right now, I'm out. This is the lower high. You lost a 200, and yeah, my swing trade. I was in that swing trade for 3.5 months, and I'm out. So I got in around 210. I sold around 320, 325. So I'm not going to complain about it. I'll leave it at that. I'll see you guys in the live stream Saturday, 11 p.m. Central Time. So until then, trade safe. Have a great rest of your week. And I'll be posting several videos on YouTube tomorrow. So make sure you have the bell notification on so you get notified every time I post a video. And until then, trade safe and have a great rest of your night. Thank you guys for stopping by and for the support. Cheers and adios. Adios. Thank you. See ya.